You see where the little nigga ran up on the little Jewish boy? And he was like, man, that's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. And the little Jewish boy had the hair.
The yarmulke?
No, his jump was like bald up front, and in the back they had the hair coming down. He was like, man, that's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. But it says your life though, bro. Fuck it. That shit funny as a bitch.
The wisdom and future and all that good stuff, man. Yeah, you just down, yo. I'm gonna sip this a little bit. So I guess the first point I want to bring up.
All right, let's go.
So we already know about this XXXTENTACION situation, right? And one thing I noticed about him, you know, of course I didn't really follow up on his music. I don't really know too much about him. You know what I'm saying? Other than what I've heard or what I've seen, it's all over the internet. You can't deny it, right?
Right.
Man always spoke about when he died all the time.
He spoke it into existence.
How do you feel about, and we've had conversations about this, and this particular situation made me hone in a lot more into that. How do you feel about, let's start here first. How do you feel about people constantly speaking? Tupac did it. Biggie did it.
See what happened.
How do you feel about people constantly speaking of their demise?
I feel like this, right? I get it, because death is the only thing that's like inevitable, right?
It's promised.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's guaranteed for anybody. Death is like the only guarantee. Anything else, you know, subject to change as the days and the time goes by. Situations, circumstances, all that. Death is always on people's mind, though you're not supposed, what you think and what you say, you know what I'm saying, it creates, words create. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a believer in that. I've seen it, because it's like, you got the album that says Ready to Die.
First album.
First album. You got a nigga that constantly talk about him dying.
To Live and Die in L.A.
And then you got another motherfucker that constantly is on social media now talking about death, and you see what happened to him.
It's unfortunate.
How do you feel about social media platforms?
I feel like it's social media is supposed to be for shits and giggles, business. I think people put so much emphasis on social media about, I mean, it's okay to be socially conscious too. You know, you always want to be responsible when you talk about, you know, social consciousness. But it's really for marketing, advertising, and it's for connecting with people, networking.
To raise awareness.
Yes, and then for shits and giggles.
You never seen before, or to entertain certain ways or something like that.
But really, nowadays, it's really used for clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? For people who don't have like, people have a platform to act out. You know what I'm saying? People who normally wouldn't get the same attention that they get in person, they get on social media and they make a mockery of not only themselves but their family. And that's one of those things, like, to me, I live by principles and morals, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm an asshole all the time. I like to laugh and joke because I've been through enough. But when you start going on social media and you got a platform as big as these young artists got, I don't even think they understand the type of platform that they have.
Yeah, the power.
They make themselves a target. And when you talk about dying and you talk about how hard you go, somebody gonna want to test you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna want to test you.
You're welcoming that energy.
Yeah, exactly.
For every person that don't give a fuck, I feel like there's someone who don't give a fuck even less, that feeds off of that and make a career off of testing people who claim they don't give a fuck.
Man, that's real rap. Like when you go to certain cities, you gotta check in. They got no-fly zones. They got places you gotta check in with the homie or you ain't good there. Cities where if you stand on the wrong block for a certain amount of time, they're gonna take you just because of who you are. It's like, I seen this dope rapper, he from Atlanta, I ain't gonna say his name, but I've been following his career for the last couple years. And I think he a dope rapper. And I don't think he, as far as what I see and what I hear about him, I don't never hear him about him doing no bad to people. But I seen they took his chain. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then they posted it online, we got so and so chain. Like, but he ain't even seeming like a guy who's looking for that type of attention, but the people who see it, you know, he has this platform, right? Gotcha. So I have this platform and you want to take it from me. Or in this instance, him, right? So it's like when people know clout chasing, like people know just rap beef in general, right? Get attention. If I shoot at the biggest rapper and he respond and I happen to battle him and I win, I'm the big dog. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? That's rap is competitive nature. Yeah. But people are really out to prove I'm the man. I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? It's the
I'm gonna go to great lengths
to show you I'm gonna take this man chain and you don't even know who chain you taking. You took somebody chain who is well loved and respected. You see what I'm saying? And he might not be on it like that, but he got a lot of people that are really on it like that.
But the way shit is now, right? Alright, so I'm asking do you think the way that we were coming up and the way that the youngins are coming up now is way worse than it? Like, is it more fucked up in the world regarding our youth now than it is then? Or do you think that it's always been the same? The difference is it's now being televised in a way it's always being recorded. You're always seeing something. And if you think that it's the same but it's always been televised, who do you feel are more of the criminals? The ones that are doing the crime or the ones that are doing the recording? So it's a two-part.
Alright, so the two-part question is this. I can answer the second part easier, right? I'm going to answer that and then I answer the other part. The person on camera doing it on purpose on camera is a person who never seen, I can't say he never seen it, I'm going to say a person that has no regard for the consequences of what the game do to you when it comes to street level shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when we were coming up as kids, it was way different to answer that question. The person on the camera, holding the camera now, would have been considered a fucking rat.
Because back then, we never got in front of cameras.
Remember when Jay-Z said, when I was talking Instagram, the last thing we wanted was your picture snap?
Exactly.
My nigga, we
never did. That's why in our teenage years...
It's open, cuz. It's open. Hit the locks on it.
You came up the right spot, right time, bro.
Go ahead and take this shot. We record.
Come on, cop a squat, man.
Nigga, somebody on camera, nigga.
Go ahead and put the strap down. Go ahead and take that to the head. We taking shots.
Discussion panel, man.
Oh, word. Yo, nigga.
Just go ahead and take it down.
Supposed to be doing something, man. But hey,
going?
Don't worry about it. One shot ain't gonna do nothing. I got anything else to drink?
No, that's it.
Alright, cool. Get a pressure.
Alright, I'm gonna take mine with you.
What I was saying is because I noticed that when shit happens or when crimes take place, motherfuckers don't call police or help anymore. Like, this is for innocent. This is for innocent bystanders. This ain't niggas like, we had a code, an ethic, right? If you in that street shit and something happened to you, my nigga, then you that's the game. You in the game, my nigga. But if something happened to a bystander, like, we can't even tell who's who no more. You know what I'm saying? If something happened to a bystander What a nigga do?
Pull out his phone and take a fucking picture or record a video.
Oh, I'm the first motherfucker.
Nigga.
I'm put this
Instead
on
of, hey, we need help, we on so and so, they rather do this first. And then when the show over with, they might go and quick to be post because they want to be the one on TMZ or the one to get the first nigga to post the shit and say, "Oh, I was there."
They ain't got no filter nowadays.
So
man.
the thing of because a lot of shit is surveillance, man. Surveillance.
everything is
everywhere.
surveillance. Surveillance is everything. Everything is surveillance.
Like to live in a world like that.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Nah, man, these people don't know what's reality anymore, man.
See, the thing is, people
Still saying that nigga extensions faked his death and
man,
bullshit,
that shit
man.
ain't. I mean, that shit is like for the fad, but that shit ain't. That shit for the fad. That shit ain't like. That shit ain't like real to me. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't like. That shit is, you know, just hearsay, she say, he say, she say for conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge. Everybody know Pac my favorite artist.
Yeah.
I ain't seen Pac since they said he died though. So, though there's a lot of conspiracies about him being alive still, to me, until he come back, he gone.
Yeah.
But his music live on, his legacy live on. In regards to the way that people hold the camera up instead of helping people, that shit all the way fucked up.
That shit is fucked
That shit
up.
all the way fucked up.
What happened to us to the point we become?
Nigga, we ain't got any humanity.
We become so desensitized to the point where
That's the right word.
we don't help. We rather record.
well, the
we
media-
rather entertain.
that's been done on
than to
purpose.
Help people.
That's been done on purpose.
I was gonna ask you something based off of that. It's kind of on that, but it's kind of like a little bit.
We ain't gonna go
right?
too crazy about this.
So I think about this. No, but I speak about conspiracy theories as well. All as well.
We good. We can talk about
So
everything.
my thing is this, right?
Some things
Do
you
you
can't
feel
talk
like? Do you feel like? I don't know. I was looking at something. I forgot. It's dealing with prisons.
Mhm.
I'm starting to feel like because, matter of fact, Wallow.
I fuck with Wallow.
Wallow was
267.
Wallow was speaking about a situation where he was locked up and they were on the yard and they stabbed and he saw a nigga stab a nigga up and Wallow wanted to act to try to stop it and his you know old head grabbed him and said, "Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Niggas just step over the shit and keep moving."
Yeah.
So do you? I started thinking. You know, my mind get to wonder. Do you think maybe they running like tests in prison and then implementing that shit in the real world?
No, that's not what I believe. I believe they. I believe they implement. They implement everything everywhere. They implement tests. Like, all right, so to desensitize black people to make it unimportant or something that's regular.
It's not black people though.
It's all ethnicities. Yeah, but to desensitize us overall about stuff that's going on in the world, show it.
Yeah,
Eventually, if we see a motherfucker get his head blown off enough,
we'll get used to it.
it's second nature now. It's regular.
Nigga, that's what YouTube, TV,
Right.
all that shit for to make us like that though. That's why these kids out here just like instead of like what you saying, calling 911, these niggas want a video.
That's
Like,
what
yeah,
I'm
how many
saying,
likes?
man.
Shit, nigga, I was
It's
gonna
11 o'clock.
make some money tonight, man.
Never mind. We're
Only, but it's about that time where motherfucking drunk motherfuckers about to be out, man. I don't even want to deal with them niggas.
well, the shit about to close in like 45 minutes. What you don't know? Don't worry about it. Fuck it.
So look,
I mean, it's no matter. I
Back to my point. My
I would
bad.
like to have something to smoke, nigga. I don't smoke
Okay.
that shit.
My bad. But
Excuse me.
back to my point. My point is
I'm gonna get my lighter back
to
up.
the sense. You know, I don't still like us.
I know, man. It's just that I might forget it.
Black people still like us. But they desensitize us by showing it on a regular basis, right? If I show you enough that your people ain't worth shit, it ain't gonna mean shit to you for you to murk a nigga either. You know what I'm saying? It's programming. TV is called television program. They say, what's on? My program. When you go to a school function, the program. This is the program we following. They're programming You know what I'm saying? Is a reason why it's called the program. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you talk about the media, and then you think about the media, the way they only broadcast what they want. They showed recently 5 different media stations, news stations, running the same exact reports with the same exact words. You know why? It's scripted. It's built the program.
With the news, man, everybody knows it's scripted because they reading off a teleprompter. It's whoever's behind that teleprompter that's writing that script for them to read.
So let me ask y'all this, since we on this subject, right?
Oh, damn, you didn't even drink your shit.
No, I'm sipping my shit. Because,
We
I got a
go
very
here.
short time. But,
I need a beer or something.
Go to the store.
Exxon right there.
Either Exxon or the QT.
I need to go with QT. I need to
we don't need people to know where we at either.
I need to get some gas.
that's like 1,000 actually.
And 1,000 QTs, nigga.
Alright, cool.
Ain't nobody gonna pinpoint where the hell you at.
Somebody right.
So, do y'all believe in clones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, we from Virginia, man.
They do everything in Virginia. Virginia is the playground. Like Virginia is the Virginia, Colorado, and little islands off that they don't even have listed. You know what I'm saying? Is what they do in Alaska, like Alaska and goddamn Antarctica. These are places where they really carry out real missions. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that's kept from the public. Like people in Virginia be wondering why everybody go down. A lot of people snitch. A lot of people snitch.
We don't hear from them no more, but they did get that information out.
But Virginia is the Feds' playground.
Oh, I know that.
You know what I'm saying? They do the trainings for the Feds in Virginia. They carry out
That's what it's the biggest naval base out there.
everything. The first fighter wing is out there. Everything is there.
So, all right. Now, have y'all seen the previews to the new Purge?
Yeah, I see.
All right, so
No.
they always say that movies tend to tell certain truths, right? So I noticed in the Purge, this new Purge, I realized that they're targeting African Americans. They're going into projects and they're busting down doors and they doing shit like that. And these niggas
Yeah, the new movie is supposed to be First Purge, really based on the First Purge. So it's supposed to be like.
Do you feel like maybe somewhere down the line that this may be possible?
Hey, yo, you know what? Jay say a lot of shit in his music, and I reference music a lot when it comes to that shit. When Jay said, you know why they call a project? Because it's a project, experiment, and we're in it only as objects. You see what I'm saying? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They change our living situations. They put us in certain circumstances. They break us apart from our family. They break us apart. They treat us as man. Black people, people of ethnicity, have been the biggest target since the beginning of the time.
I always felt like this though. If you're not the majority or minority, everybody know what the majority is.
See, the minority controls shit though.
But see now, I don't even think white folks it's not even for all white folks no more. It's about this now.
You understand?
It's classism. But people still playing the race card, but it's really classism. Because if you pour right trash and you stand in this trailer home, you think they gonna come save you because you're skin? No, I'm not about to do that.
I tell you what, right?
Hold on, let me say one thing, yo. You know what what I always think about now, dog? When I think about you, is when you be like Friday morning, you be crying. On Monday morning,
that's my shit. I
drive to work,
Listen, I stopped because mad people was complaining. My father was complaining. My father called me and was like, "Yo, what's wrong, yo?" I said, "Yo, it's a joke."
Yo, but
my
see,
shorty was like, My shorty was like, yo, stop doing that. And then I had somebody else comment telling me stop doing it. So I stopped doing it. I need to stop listening to niggas. But I felt like I was offending niggas more than I was.
You ain't offend me, dude.
But look, you the second motherfucker to tell me that. My cousin, I went to Tennessee, she was like, yo, I was dying off your ass when you did that. So every Friday, I do a little dance joint, and every Monday I cry and I go back to work. That's the whole point of it. That's the whole shit.
Yo, a lot of you not do when I see that shit.
I take some water,
laughing.
I take water and I put it in my eyes and let it roll down, and then I hit record, and then I just sit there with the ugly face.
You be trying.
I sit with the ugly face. Sit with the ugly face. I'm about to do it again, son. Bro, y'all say this shit.
I want to share this shit, but I can't find it now.
This Monday, I'm doing it again, man.
Yo, you do it on Monday, son. I swear I'm gonna share that shit.
This Monday, I'm doing.
I'm gonna share that shit in a couple goddamn.
I'm doing that shit again every Monday. Every Monday, I'm gonna have a cry joint, and every Friday, I'm gonna have a dance, dude. Cause I know niggas can relate to that shit.
Look, when I first seen it, I thought something was wrong with you, so I was trying to. I had to, you know what I'm saying, like read comments and shit.
You know, I'm not.
Yeah, I already know.
If something was wrong, I'm not gonna share that with everybody.
But you know, that's the first reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Acting skills on point.
Yeah, it was just like, and then I read your caption talking about going to work. And then I started busting out laughing.
It's Monday. It's Monday, my nigga.
Oh,
it's starting over again. You know I don't want to do this shit.
That shit had me dying.
When you get it, it's like, yo, this nigga.
Right?
Funny. It's like the dry humor shit, like the dark humor.
Yeah, it
so
is.
I say little
life,
shit.
Nigga. That's real shit.
I say little dumb shit.
That's how
like,
niggas feel.
Remember the time I said, remember the time when you was little and your mama and your dad always told you, go do this, go do that. And you go in there, I can't wait till I grow up. Oh, they ain't gonna never tell me nothing.
Boy,
how does it feel?
I wish they was paying my bills right now.
You big dummy. You shouldn't have said it back then. Now look at you. Remember what you wished for. Now you paying your own bills.
Oh shit.
Nigga. Now you gotta make you responsible for everything going around this bitch now.
My mom bust her ass.
You wanted to grow up. Then right when you get grown, what they always tell you when you love it, you gonna understand when you grown. You gonna get it when you
don't really get it when they tell you that shit.
But they
like, yeah, whatever.
When you grown, you gonna get it. And when your ass get grown, you be like, fuck.
What did I sign up for?
What type of shit is that?
I wish I was a kid again.
Man,
ain't to worry about no bills.
Who don't wish they could rewind their hands a fucking time, nigga? I'm gonna switch gears. I know we was talking about some crazy shit earlier. I'm gonna switch gears. You gonna go there?
Well, we'll just do whatever.
Alright.
Do whatever.
How do you feel? We switching it up. Like it's a whole nother.
Alright. Do whatever. Do whatever.
Alright, so how do you feel about women How do you feel about women? Now, I mean, I know we can speak from a man's perspective, so I'm not about to sit here and say all men are right. You know what I'm saying? We're not about to say that. So let's get that out for disclosure. We know some niggas is fucked up out here.
True that.
But why do you feel that women look more upon what a man has and value as far as physical versus who a man is internally, his moral, his goal, his ambition, his grind? You know what I'm saying? Why not look more into those things than what a person already has? Because I'm going to give you my opinion. My opinion, I feel personally that a man or a woman who's worked hard to get to the point that you admire, it's going to be twice as hard for you to be accepted. You see what I'm saying? You're aiming somewhere that you know you don't belong. You don't belong here, but you're trying to use everything else that's out. There's variety of that out here. because of my status, if I'm that nigga that you accept,
then
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going for the person that there's a whole group of people want that same thing. Who don't want to be at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as a female, of course you got more opportunities, so you look at it like that, but why? You know what I'm saying? I know as men, like, I don't respect the man who see a woman as a piece of meat. Like, at the end of the day, regardless of how you work your situation out with that person, there's respect there.
Right.
The respect stays.
It has to be.
I don't care what our arrangement is, the respect is there. And that's what happens when you disrespect a woman. And that's one thing I don't ever want to do. You know what I'm saying? You keep it 100, you keep it real, you keep it up. You know what I'm saying? So, I know I went off on a tangent, but what do you think about situations with women valuing men for what they have and valuing them for who they are?
I'm going to start where you left off, and I'm going to go back towards that. So I feel like a man is always to be a model for his daughters and the women in his family and the women he loves, even if they're not they're not blood or they friends or best friends or something like that. This is what you want to always be, that man that they use to measure other men, not in the competition way, but you, like, I care about you like this. If this man doesn't care about you the same way I do, or more, or better, they don't have a better way of loving you than I do,
Exactly.
then that man shouldn't be in your life because he don't love you for real. You feel what I'm saying? Now, what I will say about women is, women, it's crazy, right? I don't wanna go too deep, but what I say is this: based on psychology and where we are right now as people, our people, different cultures struggle from different things. Most ethnicities struggle from more so a thing about being. It's more so survival with them, with women of our ethnicity or in different ethnicities outside of, you know, the minority. We are the majority, but you know, the minority, they control things. Is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
All right, so
there's only a few.
Psychologically, you can break it down in regards to how slavery broke us apart. And it made the woman depend on the system and treat the man as if nothing. You know, and over time, there have been people who have maintained real love, right? That's the only way a thing will last if it's real. Like, if the love will last if it's real, right? If you get somebody who's more focused on survival, as women who have to be dependent on the system would be, because they want to make sure that they good and their kids good, and it teaches you also at that point not to value the black man as much. We go through a lot already there, but in regards to overall, when you talk about a woman wanting a man for what he has versus who he is as a person, you got to understand that people date on the level of their self-esteem and the level of their self-esteem, excuse me, and how they view themselves, right? You know what I'm saying? Because anything that you see on the inside is what you're going to see on the outside.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And women, especially women, you can read the body language of them. The way they speak and what they're looking for, they pretty much direct with it if you understand them. You can understand if they were raised off of love or they were raised off survival. What can I do to get past the next day? When you start thinking about somebody who really loves you, a woman who really loves you, is going to be there regardless of what material things you got. You know what I'm saying? Versus what you have to offer. Now, I'm not saying a woman who loves you won't want you to be a better person, because if they really love you, they're going to automatically make you a better person. You see what I'm saying? But if they want what they want from you and there's no real love there, they're going to see what they can get. They're going to see what they can get. That's just the way it works. And then eventually, when a man finds out oh, you don't really love me, you saying it to see what you can get, but you're not displaying these signs of love.
Exactly.
Now is a different game because I know you playing the game and you know you don't know the game coming back to you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you're too focused playing your shit.
Right.
You know
it turns into a whole game that don't gotta be played.
Yeah. You start counteracting moves that shouldn't be counteracted. Or when you in that mode, everything to you that don't seem what it is, seem what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, in so many words.
And we be jaded. And a lot of times, us men, we'll see a woman and be like, she's perfect, right? Mm-hmm. But then, deep down inside, as time go along, you see she start wanting you for what you can do for, and wanting you for what you have.
Instead of who you are. Because I feel like a man or a woman that is in that status do not seek value in someone becoming a part of their life and not bringing something to the table.
Right.
If you're not, because if you're looking for a person of that stature, right? Mm-hmm. You have certain expectations. He or she and the other person on the opposite side has another expectation of you. So you gotta do one or two things: bring something to the table, or you really gotta earn that. And for you to earn that means you really care about this nigga, or you really care about this female. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I feel like that. So if your first approach is, what he got, I feel like you fucking up because you're trying to find value in something that doesn't have value in it. They already got their shit. They're not gonna value you. And if you do happen to land one, man, congratulations. Everybody don't get that opportunity because we're already fixated on. We've seen it too many times happen. Us as men are already fixated on what women would do if provided the opportunity. Women are fixated on what men would do if they were provided the opportunity. It's the same thing. We work hard to get to this position. We gotta do to get to this. Damn.
God damn. So when it comes to a gold digger, especially when you're a real G, you start to treat her as a gold digger, right? Mm-hmm. I believe in treating women good as a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to do right by women, treat women with respect, cater to them. You know, make them feel special. If this is a special woman to you, this is what you do.
Yeah.
When you start to realize that a woman is out for material, it changed the way you view her.
Exactly. That's why I feel like like I was saying before, or I was saying earlier, like for a woman to give herself to you in that way, like it's pretty much vulnerability from there. A woman has removed her clothing and allows you inside of her. I don't care on what circumstance. You have to. I feel like as a man, you give respect just off of that.
I agree. Man,
and as a man making a conscious decision to go that route, you know what I'm saying? To go that far, I would assume there's a point of interest somewhere. Regardless of the situation, how it happened is whatever sparked it, whatever the motivation was. You know what I'm saying? But still, at the end of the day, I feel as if though men shouldn't treat a woman who gave themselves to them in that manner or in that way as like something they put on a mantle.
Right, trophy piece.
Regardless of who they are, you laid with this woman. This woman laid with you. So y'all both is equal invested as whatever it is. So at the end of the day, there always should be a respect level at that point.
All right, so I agree, right? But this is the only disconnect when it comes to that. Women, some women, they put, excuse my language, they put pussy on a pedestal, right?
True.
So when they make pussy the platter that you working towards, right? and then it becomes about the pussy. You might not even be into it. You might genuinely got love for this person. You might really be at this person, but they're putting the pussy as the prize. When you out for the person, I want the person I know you really are.
Exactly.
Versus the pussy. Like, I get pussy.
And the crazy shit, the little things they don't know is the fact that you being guarded is not what throws off. It's the vibe that you throw off. Because you're such in a defense, you don't even allow me to show you the potential I have because you're already a defense. You come in here already with a premeditated plan. This is what I'm going to do, this is to go, so you don't see that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. See that look, bro.
I know y'all ain't seen Luke Cage and none of that.
No, I ain't watched
TV.
I watched the first season. I ain't watched the second one.
I think it's dope. But anyway,
I watched that shit. I just haven't sat down and started that series because I know I'm gonna be binge watching that shit.
Nah, it took me a while. I don't have enough, you know what I'm saying, time to sit and watch it all day. I try to, most of my watching comes from on the weekends.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's when I watch on the weekends,
Yeah,
nigga.
it's only on the weekends.
Like, you see how I got time to come over here and chill with y'all niggas? I would be in the crib binge watching.
Yeah.
And niggas be like, damn, niggas ain't gonna be thinking about me anyway. You know what I'm saying? But niggas be like, yo, what the fuck, Tim at? I'm probably at the crib on the bed watching some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Staying the fuck out of trouble, nigga.
Yeah, that's the best way to be.